So I'm recording this video on the 12th of November 2024. It's 8:52 a.m. I just woke up and I feel like I'm very happy, like I'm full of life. I'm just so excited to be alive, and I feel like life is the greatest gift, which is, and I would like to take you back a little. The reason I'm recording this is because my my rent due date is like 7 days ago. Yeah, it's like 7 days ago. And taking you back to 5 years ago, I was in a similar situation, and I used to wake up every single day anxious, worried, cry when I'm out of bed, pray to God, take walks in the evening. I don't even know why I was taking a walk, because sometimes I didn't even have like the appetite to eat. And so I would have probably fainted along the way. And so this time round, the last amount of money I had, I spent it on healthcare. And so I knew that I did not have anything left. And when I came back to the house, I had barely done like any shopping. And so what happened is I just got into the house. I turned on the lights. Unfortunately, my token had ran out. I didn't have like a single cent on me, but there was a little food left, but it wasn't much, considering that when you're on medication, sometimes you crave for certain foods. And in my case, I really do not like taking carbohydrates when I'm on any medication, be it for like a headache or anything. I just don't crave carbohydrates that much. And so I like to have different things, and I like to satisfy that craving. And so this time around, I knew I was I was in a bad place. And so yeah, I'm just in the house. There's not much. My token ran out, so I'm literally in the dark. And there was some time back when I did a video, and I said that the age that was like 2 years ago. I did a video, and I said that I had been through so much stuff, to an extent that in my heart and in my mind there were no tears left to cry. How that is significant right now, when I came back to the house and everything was like a mess. Well, I had like a clean house, which is a consolation to me, but I knew that I did not know the next move in my life. So I'm just in the house, I'm chilling, and I'm in the dark, and all of a sudden, you know, those ridiculous thoughts that you have? Or like, well, on that day, I got this. It's one of those childhood songs that sing, "Why worry when you can pray?" It goes like, "Why worry when you can pray? Why worry? And Jesus knows the way." I'm a Christian, I'm a believer. And when I got that song in my head, I want you to I want you to take note of the fact that, well, in 2018, I was diagnosed with anxiety, and there's just a lot of things that go wrong with my health that I wouldn't want to talk about. And so, knowing the kind of mental state I was in, and I got a consolation that why worry when you can pray, was such a big deal for me, because it calmed me down. I'm the type of person that will overthink so much stuff. I'm the type of person that is literally bothered by the smallest thing. One of the things that I keep telling my friends, and I know it's very dumb, but one of the things that I keep telling my friends is that just be yourselves, However, if you see me doing something wrong, always correct me. If you don't like the way I speak, if you don't like the way I reach out to you, tell me and I'll change it. And I also keep telling them that, please, when you're doing something, also consider like the other person's feelings. For example, when you're texting me, just have the correct grammar. Don't just don't do things the right way, like the way they're supposed to be done. And getting that, why worry when you can pray song in my head, it literally calmed me down, and I was in a state of stability. I was in balance, and I wasn't so anxious at all, and I wasn't even stressed. I wasn't depressed as well, because when you have anxiety, you could easily fall into depression quite fast, and having that song come into my mind was like the best thing that happened to me. And I remember I just sat on my seat, and some minutes later I went to bed, and I took a power nap for like, I guess it must have been like 30 minutes or an hour, can't remember, but it was the best. You know how power naps slap? Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And so when I woke up, the song is still ringing in my head, and on waking up, I just cooked whatever that I had in my house. I cooked and I ate. After finishing eating, I took my medication. I'm so sorry, like my hand is shaking. I'm in a very tense state of mind right now, but I'm very also calm. But I'll be okay. So when after cooking, I ate, took my medication. However, I'm no longer on anxiety medication anymore because I've learned to keep myself calm. Well, sometimes it's not easy, but I have learned a little bit of that. And so I just took the medication that I had, and there were some very hard ones in there that knocked me out after some time. And so I just went to bed and woke up the following day, and I continued. There's a quote that I saw somewhere saying that when you don't know what to do what you know what to do best. And you see, at this point, I had to pause my video. Well, like at this point, there's nothing going right in my life apart from the fact that I'm alive and I have something to eat. And so what I did was I woke up. There was a study I was doing. There were some materials I was studying that would probably help me in the future, in like 6 months to come. And so I did exactly that because that is my normal routine. And I've also learned that do not let your feelings get in the way of your professional life. If you wake up feeling like you don't want to talk to anyone, don't let that feeling get in the way of your work. Don't let your feelings get in the way of your routine. So I woke up. Remember, there's nothing I can do about my situation, right? And I feel like this is something that comes to you. Like the more you age, the more you realize that things that are not in your control, there's nothing you can do. However, for a younger person, that's just a quote. But until you live it, until you experience it, that's the only way that you can know what it really means. Well, like I woke up, I studied the material. After some time, I attended a meeting that I always attend, like 3 times in a day. It's a group that we it's like a mentorship group. But it's for work. It's for some type of work, for some freelancing work, because the meeting is normally like 3 times in a day. And so when I woke up and I studied my material and then I attended the meeting, in between that space, I remember I read my Bible, and then I went out because there's a friend of mine that I had like a meeting with because they wanted to meet because I was selling them something. I also I sell stuff online, and so maybe you guys some of us might have noticed, but there were some online marketing pages or websites or applications that were free back like some months ago, but right now you have to like pay a subscription fee. However, we both know that selling stuff online is not easy because of the risk of scammers. There are like also people who are like dissatisfied with the product that you deliver for no reason. And I mean, like, it's for no reason. Because I have worked in the phones and electronics sector for quite a long time. I wouldn't really say quite a long time, but every time I purchase a product, I always test it because I cannot deliver something that I know will not be good for my customer. However, let's even talk about something like a charger. Before I purchase a charger, I always test it. And in having been in the market, I know the good quality and the bad quality ones because the substandard is sold for less, and I always go for higher prices because that's better. Like it's going to serve the customer better. And so you know the frustration of delivering a product, you've used your fare, it's not refunded, or maybe someone just wants to scam you. Like there are all sorts of people online. And so when you get that platform with a subscription fee which is like so high, and then when you post like a certain number of a similar product, you have to like top up a certain amount, and the product you're selling is not even like the profit is not worth that much, it could get really frustrating. And so I went to meet up with a friend. We also like discussed some other business. And so after that, I came back to the house. I even I had my lunch because I have to eat because I'm on medication. And so later on I attended my meeting and the day was over. I want you to remember that this entire time, even after attending the meeting, the only thing that I got were promises of like products being purchased. You can imagine I was literally hanging on a thread. And so I came back, I continued with my routine. I ate, did my meds, and then the day was over. I did my meeting in the evening, and then I went to bed. And so life is so funny. So I continued doing my routine. That's just who I am. I wake up, I just do everything that I have to do. And so as I'm recording this, there's not a single shilling that I own right now. I had made like investments that will pay in the future, but at this moment, I'm just feeling I'm just feeling like I'm in a very stable state of mind. I don't know why. And then while in that state of mind, I keep getting it's like a still voice. I had read somewhere that, and even heard from a podcast. It's a very spiritual podcast, and so they were saying that if you are in a still place and all of a sudden you hear a voice calling you, always respond and ask, who is it? Identify yourself. And so while in my house, I keep hearing a voice. I told you I pray and I read the word of God. And while in my house, I hear as like someone calling me. I can tell that it's a male voice, and it's like Gladys. And the moment I hear that sound, I can only imagine like it's it's in capital letters, not in any small letters. It's in capital letters. I don't know if that makes sense. And I I always just sit, close my eyes, try to sort of get in that moment, meditate, and then answer. And I'm like, who is it? And I don't get an answer. And do you know how frustrating that is? Because I'm trying to like look for an answer and I'm not getting one. Because 5 years ago, when I was going through a similar incident as now, I would be the one praying to God and wanting to hear from Him. But I would have literally cursed God, which at some point I thought of and I sort of did. But this time around, I'm just not worried. And so I have this feeling that I will get my things together, that I will get my, like, I'll get money to pay my rent. I don't know where it's going to come from, but I know, I have a feeling that it's going to come. I'm just doing what I have to do. I'm just doing what I do best. I'm taking up opportunities online. I'm going out and doing my share of what I know what to do. And in as much as I'm in a state of lacking, I feel like inside I'm full, if that makes sense. And I just, have you ever been in a very happy place, yet stuff is not going well in your life? I'm not worried. And while in that state, it scares you. That's exactly where I'm at right now. Nothing is going the way I want. Nothing is coming out in a manner that I expect to. I can't see any fruition, but I'm not worried. And the fact that I'm not worried, that scares me. And unlike 5 years ago, where I lost hope and faith, right now, actually my faith is stronger. I don't know if that makes sense. My faith in God is stronger right now. Like I'm just in that place where I'm trusting. That is, I'm just trusting. I don't know my next step towards getting my rent, but I know my next step because I have a routine. I have a daily routine, but I don't know my next step towards getting money to pay my rent or get some food. Yeah. And oh my God, let me tell you one thing. If there's anything that I like to do is, I don't know, just be grateful. Like the other day, well, I recently moved into this house because, well, I was actively looking for a house because the previous one would not serve me. And so when I moved here, there was just, my window wasn't closing. And just yesterday, it was so impossible for this window to like close. I even called in like one of the guys that did the work on the windows because I wasn't here when it was being built, and he just said you just have to live with the window like that. But yesterday the window just closed, and you have no idea how much I cried. And I mean, like, other things have happened to me. Like, friends have come through for me. Not friends, but I would say one friend has come through for me. And I literally shed tears. I don't know whether, like, the window closing is in any way metaphorical, but everything in my life right now is not a coincidence. A coincidence, I mean. Everything happening in my life is not a coincidence. Even the people that I meet, the things they say to me, I don't take it as coincidence, because I just keep being directed in places that I've never been before. I had never been before. And every single person I meet says something to me that is sort of related to what I've been praying to God. On a normal day, On a normal day, I'd meet like, funny people, make me laugh. I'm funny as well. I make people laugh like crazy. Well, but on this specific period, like, I just meet people who look like they've been sent by God. And so I'm doing this video today because it's the 12th of November 2024. And in my heart, I believe that. And I keep having this feeling that I will get some results. Like, I will get to pay my rent, I will not suffer, and I am not. Am I really sharing this with anyone? The only person that knows what I'm going through is a friend of mine, and she doesn't even know the weight of it. She just knows that I'm going through like a hard place, but she doesn't know how deep it is. And you know how crazy that is. It's not like I'm hiding it from her, but I just don't want to get my business out there. I do trust her. I trust her, but I just don't like sharing. Or a part of me feels like I could be oversharing, and I don't want to do that because for some reason I feel like God is going to do something great in my life. Only I can understand because I'm in this state, and when He does whatever I want, it's going to be marvelous. It's going to be heaven on earth, and it's going to have such a great impact in my life. And the fact that I can trust in God in my lowest moment just shows my character. And I don't know if this is one of those moments that God tests you, and if this is the moment that God is testing me, like in the Bible, the story of Job, how he went through so much hardship to an extent of almost losing his life. And I feel like I'm in that moment where God is trying to like sort of show me, get me in the wilderness, get me through so much hardship, and get me to pray, get me to fasting, get me to understand the fact that He is, and He's going to provide, and He's going to do so much stuff. And every time I get on my knees to pray, for some reason, I'm just on my knees praying, and all I can do is cry without tears and be grateful to what He has done in my life before. Do tell me what you think about this. Have you been in a similar state? What steps did you take? And one thing I can tell you is that why worry when you can pray? Why worry when He knows the way? Jesus knows the way. And keep on doing what you know what to do when there's nothing to do. Just keep on keeping. Keep on doing that. Be consistent. Be the best version of yourself. Don't show it. Don't apply, like in the Bible, when Jesus was teaching about fasting and fasting and prayer and a bit of hypocrisy in there. He was saying that do not be like other people who, when they're fasting, they want everyone to know. Rather, put some oil on your face. Like, be in your normal state. Don't let people know what's happening in your life. Don't let them in to an extent that they can literally identify, yeah, she's going through some hard stuff, you know. So I'm going to do another video of how everything works out because I have a feeling that it's going to work out. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take. I'll do another video, and this is just to encourage anyone that's going through a hard situation, and maybe you have like some doubts about your faith or trust in God. I would like to tell you, I've been there before. This is another time that I'm in that same shoe, not because of lack of proper planning, but just because life happens. Have faith, be strong. You are the best. And I've been Gladys Nyambura. Thank you so much for listening to me. Have a lovely one.